السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. So Jibreel alayhi salatu wassalam said something to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which means you have to work really hard in Ramadan not to be forgiven. You have to really go out of your way not to win the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's just a month full of opportunities, full of just blessings, Quran recitation. People finish Quran only time in the year. Billions of people, billions of times, subhanallah. Billions of dhikr, billions of rak'ah and sajda. Even us, just a very small country, every night we have hundreds of sajda. In our small, hundreds of sajda. If you multiply this, the Prophet ﷺ said, every single sajda raise your rank in Jannah. You know? So when Jibreel says to the Prophet ﷺ, من أدرك رمضان ولم يغفر له فأبعده الله قل آمين, he is saying, somebody giving the opportunity to witness Ramadan and not to win Allah's pleasure, not to win Allah's forgiveness, not to win the big prize, what else can we do for him? So you have to really think deeply and never lose hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If Allah opened the Jannah gates, it's for us to enter. Yeah? So, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we did some tahajjud now, mashallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. And tomorrow again, inshallah, or tonight, yeah, inshallah. And we'll finish the Quran, subhanallah. Unimaginable, just if you think about it a few weeks ago, unimaginable to talk like this. But it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's amazing religion. Yeah? Inna ad-deena 'inda Allah al-Islam. This is the religion Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala perfected. Never bored. Never, still made the same thing. Every day just go, do the dance, do the, waving of the hand and go home. What else? Nothing else. They do nothing else. But we fasting and then coming Hajj, then you get the sadaqah and the Zakat Al-Fitr and the Zakat Ul-Mal and the tahajjud and tarawih and the iftar and the community and the dua. Always never ever get you to say, I'm not interested in this, I cannot do this. But there's so many other things you can do. Yeah? The Prophet ﷺ was the most generous in Ramadan. Really just, on top of all the good deeds, generosity was something running in his blood. And from him, of course, come his companion and his family. One of the very close family to the Prophet ﷺ was Ja'far. Ja'far is Ali ibn Abi Talib, older brother. Ja'far is the older brother, 10 years older than Ali. But we don't know much about Ja'far because Ja'far is the one that migrated to Abyssinia. He was the Amir, the leader of the Muslim who left Mecca early in the first years of Islam, and he went to Africa. And he stayed there for about 20 years with the Muslim. We don't know this. The first generation Muslims stayed there for a long time. They came to Medina way after the Muslim established already. And he didn't stay in Medina for about maybe a year or two. And the Prophet ﷺ appointed him as the second commander for the Muslim army to go and stop the Roman from interfering. We're talking about a 1 square kilometer. Medina is 1 square kilometer at the time with 3,000 inhabitants. And they have what we call the guts. They have the tawakkul. They have the trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They have the spirit to stop the most powerful army on the face of the earth. Go and teach them, not in Medina, in their own land. Go and teach them a lesson. And the Prophet ﷺ is not like the leaders nowadays, living in palaces and having apartment or palace in every city in the world, and the children are just, even the guy in North Korea, he studied in Switzerland and stuff. The people are starving and the leaders are living it. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ appointed his own adopted son, Zaid. Zaid was very close to the Prophet ﷺ. He was the first one. He says, you're the leader of this army, and if you get killed, subhanallah, Then Ja'far, he puts his cousin, which is like his brother. Then if he gets killed, then Abdullah ibn Rawaha. And the Prophet ﷺ, subhanAllah, miraculously, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to him the battle as was going on. It was in Jordan, what we call today, Tabuk. The city still exists today. The Prophet in Medina, in the minbar, and the battle is raging there, and then he says to them that Zayd is killed. And later on, few hours later, he says Ja'far is killed. Few hours later, and he is, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we're talking about the most sensitive human being. And these are not a plant in his garden. These are human he brought up. He really, really loves them. His eyes is flooding with tears, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he says, and Abdullah ibn Rawaha was killed. 3 of them. Then he goes to Ja'far's home, to his house. Little kids in the house, his children. And the Prophet ﷺ grabbed them all and he was crying because he's telling the news to the wife. But then he make dua for them. He make dua for the children of Ja'far. I'm talking about generosity in Ramadan. Abdullah ibn Ja'far, this little boy, grew up to be an example of generosity. If you don't talk about generosity in the book, you just win it with the miles from everybody else. They say Ja'far was going out from his house. In old days, didn't have cars, they had the horses. And the more prestigious you are, the noble family you are, the more expensive the horse is. So you have horses, and you have the food, and you have the luggage, and you have the all the sword, the gear. And he's going out from his house, getting ready to travel, and some needy people come and ask. They ask him, and they said, they need some help. You know what he did? He got off the horse. And he says, the horse and everything in it, the money and gold and everything on it is yours. But look after this sword. There were 4 swords with him. This sword belongs to my uncle, Ali ibn Abi Talib. Just unimaginable. It's like us. Some needy person, you just get off the car and give them the key with everything in it. The car is yours. You just take it, brother. That's what he did and more. Subhanallah. Another Sahabi is named Abdullah ibn Samit. Ubadah ibn Samit, radiallahu anhu. Ubadah ibn Samit. Ubadah ibn Samit, a needy person came to his house. He wasn't there. So he was disappointed, Then the servant in the house says, hey, hold on. You don't need to be disappointed. He told us what to do. He showed us where the safe is. Here is the safe, open up, take everything in it, 700 dinar. That's yours. And take a camel from the farm. He gave authority to the workers. If a needy person come, you know what to do. They're investing. They invest with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When Abdurrahman ibn Auf radiallahu anhu had 700 camels loaded. 700, subhanallah. And all the merchants meeting him outside Medina, they meeting with him. We give you, every $1 you spend, we give you $2. He says, no, somebody giving me more. He says, okay, somebody comes, we give you $5 for every $1 you spend. He says, somebody's giving me more. He says, look, the people say, these are the merchants in Medina. We are the only business, people in Medina. Who else is paying you more? He says, Allah is giving me more, hundreds more. The whole caravan is for the poor and needy of Medina. The whole thing is giving the whole thing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's how they invested in their akhirah. That's how the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught them generosity. To the level, subhanallah, this is also incredible. The Prophet ﷺ call out for donation, people will pay, and somebody is crying in his home. Some Sahabi crying in his own home. He says, Ya Allah, the Prophet ﷺ is asking for donation, I have nothing. He's so hurt, he has nothing to give. He says, Ya Allah, nothing I can give, but I'm giving my own honor. If somebody hurt me, if somebody backbite me, somebody oppressed me, he owed me some good deed, I'm forgiving them. This is my donation to the Muslim. I am forgiving my right. I have nothing against anybody. When he came in the Fajr time, the Prophet ﷺ said, where is the person that donated his honor last night? Allah have accepted you. Subhanallah, that is the spirit of Ramadan. That is just so generous, even with your with own word, with kindness, with a smile, with shaking hand, with checking with the brother. That is Islam. The Prophet ﷺ said, أثقل ما في زاد المؤمن حسن الخلق. The good manners is the heaviest thing, is the biggest thing in the scale of good deed. The biggest thing in the scale of good deed is our good manners. The Prophet ﷺ said, أكثر ما يدخل الناس الجنة تقوى الله وحسن الخلق. Two things, the biggest reason for people to make it into Jannah, taqwa Allah, to have taqwa of Allah, to be conscious of Allah, and good manners. Subhanallah. So inshallah, this is the month of good manners, this is the month of generosity with each other, with our families, with anybody. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us generous and kind. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless everything we do this month. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us, all of us, many more Ramadan in the best state of Iman. We ask Allah to accept our fasting. We ask Allah to accept our siyam. We ask Allah to accept our salat. We ask Allah to accept our good deed. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward every one of us with Laylatul Qadr. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وجزاكم الله خير.